Hi everyone and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, bringing you the latest theme park and attraction news from all around the globe. Construction has finally started on what is going to be the UK's largest water park resort, located right next door to the Trafford Centre in Manchester. And in this video I'm going to be sharing all the details. We'll take a look at the concept art and also talk about when we can expect this new water park to open. Now firstly, just wanted to go a little bit into the history of this project because it's been ongoing now for a few years, and to be honest I was starting to think, is this actually still going to happen or not? It seemed like there was a bit of uncertainty, but no, it's finally broken ground, which is very exciting. Now it was first announced a few years ago with an original timeline of opening in 2025, so next year was the original planned opening. Obviously it's not going to be opening next year now because this is quite a large construction project, as you'll see later in this video, but yeah, it's just good to see that this has finally broke ground. Obviously it used to be an area called Event City, which was like a big events venue. I went in there a couple of times because they had some indoor fun fairs there actually over the festive period. So I went in there. That got demolished now a couple of years ago, and of course we thought that that meant that construction was really going to be stepping up straight away on the water park, but it seemed like a few of the plans changed, and obviously they were speaking with the local council about them plans and things moving forward, but finally earlier this month the full permission has been given, and of course construction is now well underway on this project, which is certainly very exciting. So yeah, it's just a bit of an update on the history of what is Therme Manchester. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be located right next door to the Trafford Centre, which is one of the largest shopping centres here in the UK. We go there all the time. It's only actually about an hour away from us here at the HQ, so it's always good to go there and do our shopping and have a great time. You've got things like the Legoland Discovery Centre there. You've got the Sea Life Centre. There's all sorts of other attractions nearby too. So it's not just the actual shopping centre. It's the full experience that you've got there. You can go for a full day and you've got all these different attractions and things. A lot of the time over Halloween and Christmas they actually have a fun fair outside now, so it's like a leisure destination really, the Trafford Centre. So this new water park is going to fit in beautifully. So yeah, it's going to be right next door. It's got a tram stop out the front and everything, which is fantastic. The infrastructure is already there for this. Now it's going to be called Therme Manchester, owned by the Therme Group. They've already got quite a few different sites over in mainland Europe. I definitely recommend checking out their website if you've got time. Just have a little look through the operating sites already so you can see what they look like, because they look like they're an absolutely amazing water park. I love water parks myself. Really excited to see that we're getting a new huge one here in the UK, and this is actually a £250 million project by the Therme Group. This isn't just some small little water park. This is a huge water park resort, as they're calling it, with different areas and attractions that are all going to form part of it, which is certainly very exciting for the future. Now, this £250 million project is set to feature over 10 swimming pools and over 18 water slides. Now, I've seen quite a few newspaper reports this week claiming that there's going to be like 30 pools and slides. I'm just going from the stats on the official website. It says over 10 swimming pools and over 18 water slides, which still is a hell of a lot. I mean, you think about, all them pools and slides. It also mentions swim-up bars, saunas, other leisure activities, like a garden area outside in the middle as well. And it's not just going to be an indoor water park. Of course, there'll be outdoor areas as well. Obviously, it'll be fully heated. We are here in the UK after all. Yeah, you look at their existing sites in mainland Europe and they look beautiful, and that's the case. They're very much indoors and outdoors as well, with all the different pools and slides and other facilities that make up as part of the Therme water parks. Now, so yeah, this is going to be a huge project. When you look at the actual design for this, it looks beautiful, like the big glass roofs, and this is my favourite image actually. So you can see part of the Trafford Centre there on the left hand side. That's the Trafford Palazzo area, and then of course you've got that huge space next to it, which is now currently under construction and will be transformed into what you can see here in this concept image. You can see like a big plaza out the front there, all the dome roofs and structures. There's like a semicircle building there. That looks like, to me, you've got the garden area just behind it that they mention, and that's the thing with this. It's not just a full-on water park. It's going to be wellness, it's relaxation, and I'll explain that in a moment with the 3 different areas that they say they're going to be bringing to Therme Manchester. But this looks really nice, and it's not particularly themed, but it's well landscaped. If you've ever been to Centre Parks and seen their water parks, the Subtropical Swimming Paradise, imagine that, but on a bigger scale from what we're seeing here. Lots of landscaping, maybe some rocks and that sort of thing, indoor beaches, but not particularly themed sections. but still, this looks beautiful. It'll operate throughout the year as well. So it's providing something else for the leisure and attractions industry during the slower winter period here in the UK as well, which is really positive. Now, in terms of when we can look forward to this actually opening, they're saying it's about a 2.5-year construction phase, and obviously that has literally just started this month, which will probably bring us into 2027. So a couple of years later than originally planned, obviously that original 2025 opening, but still, it's happening, it's off the ground, and that's the thing. A lot of the time here in the UK, a lot of projects happen, and we hear things like, oh, you know, this is going to get built, aka like the London resorts, and nothing really comes of it. So I'm really excited that this is actually happening. Ground has been broken and work has now started on site. Here's a few shots that I got the other day. We went shopping actually to the Trafford Centre. Here's a few shots that I got, and yeah, it's looking really good so far, like in terms of clearing the base, the big concrete foundation where Event City used to sit. So all of that has now been removed. They're saying that, you know, they're going to be actually reusing some of that as part of the landscaping around the area, so that's quite interesting. Or maybe building up different hills and berms around the site, which is an interesting one. But they've actually already dug a 200-metre borehole that has been drilled now into the site, and that's going to provide sort of the natural thermal capacity for Therme Manchester. So yeah, that's going to be really nice, relying on some of the natural sources, of course, to heat it and power this huge water park that's going to have so much. I mean, I'm loving the idea of this just being, you know, this huge complex, all about wellness and relaxation, along with the thrills and spills of the slides as well. So you've got 3 different zones that is going to make up Therme Manchester. You've got play, which is going to be like your slides and your fun pools, maybe like a wave pool, for example. You're then going to have relax, which of course will be some of maybe the indoor beaches and saunas and that sort of thing, hot tubs. And then also you're going to have restore as well. So maybe that's where your saunas and spa facilities and that sort of thing will come into it as well. So yeah, 3 different zones, and it's all going to be really well split up, and the way that it's all sorted. How that's going to work with like tickets and things, I'm not too sure yet. Will you be able to just pay to do like a couple of them or one of them, or can you pay for like all 3, or is it all just going to be one ticket price for everything? I'm not fully sure yet, but it looks great. Obviously it's a very ambitious project to bring something of this scale to the UK, because like I say, this is a huge water park. We're not talking, you know, the size of like Alton Towers water park or Waterworld in Stoke. This is a full massive project, 28 acres I think I read it was for this. So it's a huge project that we're seeing here. Now they're expecting in the first year to get 1.7 million visitors, which is a lot. That does seem very ambitious, especially when Alton Towers, the UK's biggest theme park, that normally gets about 2.3 million visitors a year at the moment. Used to be a lot higher than that, but obviously attendance at Alton Towers has been lower for quite a few years now. But still, you know, 1.7 million visitors a year, you think that's a lot of people for a water park, but you've also got to think about the location. It's in Manchester, busy city centre, right next door to the Trafford Centre, that actually gets 30 million visitors a year going to Trafford Centre. So yeah, you know, you think of that together, and actually 1.7 million visitors seems a lot more reasonable. Then you think as well, it's Manchester, not too far away from other big cities here in the Midlands as well. So yeah, like the location of it is perfect, and right next door to what is already this huge leisure hub that's already got so much there. I've said it for years, but the Trafford Centre is more than just a shopping centre. It is a leisure destination itself. They've got rides there, you know, they've got the Legoland Discovery Centre, Sea Life, they've got all sorts like laser tag, bowling, cinemas. So yeah, there's so much there already. This will add to that offering. So yeah, very ambitious, 1.7 million visitors a year. But I think if they price it right, have good opening hours, a lot of people will go a lot of times, because I certainly will. It wouldn't just be a once a year visit. For us, with it only being just over an hour away, I could see us going quite a lot to experience Therme Manchester. But still, construction's now underway. Of course, we're going to bring you regular updates here on the channel. The last update I did on this was in March last year, 2023, when we thought construction had just started to get underway, but really they just removed the old Event City. This is proper construction now. Hopefully we're going to be seeing the foundations going in the next few months, going vertical with the steelwork at some point next year. And here we go, the UK's largest water park. Obviously that's going to create some competition for other water parks now. I mean, you've got the Wave in Coventry, not too far away. Waterworld up in Stoke-on-Trent, that's really not far away from this, maybe 40 minutes away. You know, it might mean some of these other water parks have got to up the game. Alton Towers water park opened back in 2003, and it's not had one new thing since it opened other than refurbishing things. It's had nothing new, so it might even make Alton Alton Towers have to invest more in the water park to compete with this project. But still, let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. It's Therme Manchester, the UK's largest water park, and it's now officially under construction. That leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.